Welcome back to this channel. In today's video, we are going to be looking at another x to the power of x type of equation. What I have today is actually a follow-up to a video that I posted yesterday. At the end of this video, I'm going to give a preview of yesterday's video and I'm going to post the link at the description. If you enjoy solving these kind of math puzzles, please go and check it out. In any event, let's begin. In the following question, we are given x to the power of negative x to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of square root of 2, and we are going to be solving for x. As I have indicated in the previous video, when we are solving for questions like this, basically we are going to do x to the power of x equal to y to the power of y. From there, we can come to the conclusion that x is equal to y. But if you pay attention to what I have here, I actually have 3 layers, meaning I have to work it out in such a way that I have x to the power of x to the power of x is equal to y to the power of y to the power of y. From there, we can draw the same conclusion that x and y are equal. The first thing that I want to look at is the negative sign here. I'm going to do something to get rid of it. We can do that by rewriting the left-hand side of this equation. So let's go ahead. I have x to the power of negative x to the power of x. I'm going to rewrite that as x to the power of negative 1 multiplied by x to the power of x. From here, I'm going to rearrange the exponents and turn this into x to the power of x to the power of x negative 1. So how do we get rid of the negative 1? We can multiply it by another negative 1. Don't forget, if we do that to the left hand side, then we have to do that to the right hand side. So let's write everything out in a nice and tidy manner. I have on the left hand side x to the power of x to the power of x negative 1 multiplied by negative 1 is equal to 2 to the power of square root 2 again multiplied by negative 1. From here, the negative 1s will cancel each other and become 1. So now the left hand side of the equation becomes x to the power of x to the power of x equal to 2 to the power of negative square root of 2. I'm going to write that as 2 to the power of negative 1 multiplied by square root of 2. And we know if I have 2 to the power of negative 1, I can write that as 1 over 2 to the power of square root of 2. In order to solve this equation, I need to turn the right hand side of the equation into the form of y to the power of y to the power of y. So let's see what we can do with the fraction 1 over 2. I'm going to write that as the square root of 1 over 4 to the power of square root 2. And from here, I'm going to turn this into 1 over 4 to the power of half square root 2, which is then equal to 1 over 4 to the power of square root 2 over 2. For the next step, let's explore what we can do with this exponent. Always keep in mind, our ultimate goal is to turn this into the form of y to the power of y to the power of y. So we need to find a way to turn this into the form of y to the power of y. So how do we go about doing that? If I write down the exponent of 2 over square root of 2, I can multiply that by square root 2 over square root 2. From there, that's equal to 2 over 2 multiplied by square root of 2. Essentially, what we are doing is we are turning the original denominator into an irrational number, which contradicts what we usually do in school. But that's what we need to do in order to solve this problem. So 2 on the numerator, 2 on the denominator. Now what I have is 1 over square root of 2, which is equal to the square root of 1 over 2. And we are going to make use of that. We are now going to continue on our equation using this new identity. So I'm going to write this as 1 over 4 to the power of square root of 1 over 2. And we have established earlier that we can write 1 over 2 as the square root of 1 over 4. So from here, I have 1 over 4 to the power of the square root of 1 over 4. Let's spend a little time to explore this double square root. I know if I have an arbitrary number a square root, each square root can be expressed as the exponent of half, meaning a square root can be expressed as a to the power of half to the power of half. In other words, I have a to the power of 1 over 4. So if we apply that to our original equation, now what I have is 1 over 4 to the power of 1 over 4 to the power of 1 over 4, with the third 1 over 4 coming from the double square root. So in other words, I have successfully turned this into the form of y to the power of y to the power of y. So if you look back at what we have, I have x to the power of x to the power of x is equivalent to 1 over 4 to the power of 1 over 4 to the power of 1 over 4. So clearly x itself is equal to 1 over 4. And that's the answer to this very interesting question. I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.